Since I got my first 3D printer a few years ago, I always wanted a scale integrated into the spool holder so I could know exactly how much filament I have left. But all the options I found were not good enough in my opinion. The main issue is that we need to exclude the weight of the empty spool, and even though all scales have a tear button to set the zero value excluding the weight of the empty spool or container, as you can imagine, each brand of filament has a unique weight. Some are even made of different materials like plastic and cardboard, making the difference considerable. The only spool holder with scale that I could find available for purchase is this one from Creality, which suffers from many issues. The main one is that every time you turn it on, you have to set the tear weight, meaning that you will have to keep empty spools nearby to do this process every time you turn the scale on. I saw the same problems with several DIY projects using Arduino. I solved this by allowing users to save multiple profiles with their own name and tear weight. With my digital spool holder, you can add, edit, and delete profiles using the menu system. The second thing I wanted is to implement a dead zone to ignore the fluctuation created by the irregular pulling of the filament. The amount of dead zone can be adjusted in the menu. The idea is to set an amount high enough to ignore the peaks when the filament is pulled, showing a more steady and accurate value of how much filament is left. The graph shows in green the reading from the load cell and in red the value with dead zone. All the settings are stored in the EEPROM, so we are not going to lose them after a power cycle. In contrast, this scale has to be set every time it's powered on, and since it uses batteries, it powers off automatically, which makes things even worse. If you want to build this digital spool holder, all the files and instructions are in the description of this video. For the holder part, I considered many popular designs. This one with a single roller makes the spool swing or bounce continuously, which can transfer vibrations to the printer that could cause small artifacts in the parts. That can be solved by fixing the spool to the roller using some kind of nut, but after a while of using that design, I got annoyed by the process of replacing spools because it takes more time and effort. My solution of using two rollers with bearings makes it very stable and easy to replace spools. About the other components, they are soldered in a PCB manufactured by PCBWay. This makes the entire building process much easier and it fits the case perfectly, so I really recommend it. The Gerber files are in the description of this video so you can order your own PCB. One cool thing is that you can calibrate your load cell using the menu system so you don't have to change anything in the Arduino sketch. When power on, it's going to detect that a calibration is needed, so you just follow the instructions. That involves using a real scale to measure the weight of a full spool. Select that weight, and then put the same spool in the holder. It's going to read the value from the load cell and store it to have a reference from a real scale. Then remove the spool so it can store the value when the holder is empty. All this will allow you to have a real weight reading no matter which load cell you use. I use a 200 grams weight to make sure the scale is accurate. It works with 5 volts and my 3D printer works with 24 volts, so I installed a buck converter to be able to use the internal power supply. The display assembly is mounted with 2 M3 screws and I routed the cables with the help of some 3D printed holders. You can navigate the profiles using the arrows. Press enter to get to the menu, where the first option is to edit the current profile. There you can set the weight of the empty spool. You can also edit the name. And you can delete the current profile. The second option is to add a new profile. It can store up to 20 profiles, and every time you add a new one, it is going to be stored next to the current profile. So that gives you control of the order. The third item in the main menu is Options, where you can edit the amount of dead zone. Also in the options, you can start the calibration process, the one I mentioned earlier. The last option is to erase the entire EEPROM so all the settings and profiles can be deleted. I choose this kind of low cell because it's very popular and easy to find. But I discovered that there is one with M4 screws on both ends, and there's another one with M4 screws in one side and M5 in the other, with different separation. So I made two versions of the holder to accommodate both variations of low cells. I would like to give a big thanks to my patrons and my sponsor PCBWay for their support. I hope it was helpful and see you in the next video. Bye bye!